He said he was glad. He said he'd been thinking about something Marcus probably didn't remember saying early in their relationship. A dinner, second or third meeting, when Marcus had said that what he wanted ultimately wasn't just money. He'd said he wanted to build something that lasted. Raymond said he'd been thinking about that sentence for a while, and he wanted to know if Marcus still believed it, because the answer to that question would determine what kind of career and what kind of life Marcus was going to have. He didn't ask for a reply. He just sent it and went quiet again. Marcus read the email for the fourth time, then the fifth, then closed his laptop and went for a walk through the city in the dark. And for a long time, he didn't think about deals or returns or leverage ratios. He thought about what it means to build something that lasts when the thing you're building is also inevitably yourself. Money is a strange teacher. It rewards certain behaviors in the short term that it punishes in the long term. And it does this without explanation, without a note, without a rubric, without any indication that you failed until the consequences have already compounded. The operators who build real, durable wealth, not the kind that arrives in a spike and vanishes, but the kind that persists across market cycles and difficult years, tend to share a trait that has nothing to do with intelligence or aggression or risk tolerance. They are, almost without exception, people who understand that what you do when no one is watching, or when the other party is too desperate to push back, is not a private act. It enters the record, not a legal record usually, but a record nonetheless, in the minds of the people you did it to and in the people they talk to and in the slow accumulation of how the world positions you over the years that follow. Marcus was learning this. The tuition was high, as it tends to be for lessons that actually change you, but he was learning it. Marcus Webb did not become a cautionary tale. That's important to say plainly. He built his fund over the next 4 years, made good on his projections more often than not, survived a bad year in year 3 that would have finished a less disciplined operator, and came out the other side with a track record that spoke for itself. He did not get back exactly what he'd had with Raymond. That particular relationship, that particular quality of oversight and honesty, belonged to a chapter that was finished. But he found, over time, other people who told him the truth when he needed to hear it. He learned slowly to seek those people out rather than avoid them, to treat honesty not as friction, but as the most valuable form of due diligence available. He learned to ask why before he asked how much. He learned to factor in the texture of a deal, not just the math. He became, in other words, something closer to the operator Raymond had believed he could be, which is perhaps the most ironic outcome possible. Raymond had to leave to make the lesson stick. The question that the Tillman deal posed, and that Marcus spent years turning over, was not, was it legal? It was not, would anyone else have done it? Those are the questions people ask when they're trying to avoid the real one. The real question was, who do you become when the pressure is high enough that the constraints fall away? When no one's watching, when the other party can't fight back, when the math lines up and the window is closing, what do you do? That question doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with a warning label. It arrives wearing the disguise of an opportunity, and it's already happened before you've fully registered that it was a question at all. Marcus had answered it one way at 27, in a kitchen at 7 in the morning, in yesterday's clothes. He spent the rest of his career answering it differently. Whether that's redemption or just adaptation, whether the arc bends toward integrity or simply toward a more sophisticated self-interest, is a question that probably doesn't have a clean answer. Most questions about money and character don't. Marcus had the money, the office, the deal, but Raymond was gone. Would you have made the same call at 7 in the morning